What is up, everybody? This is Recap Rewind. I'm J-Lag.
And I'm NB.
And this episode is recapping and reviewing Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Season 2, Episode 3, and it's called Chapter 14, Lupercalia.
And don't forget, guys, stick around for the ending because we are going to go through our recap roundups, our best moments, our best lines, our MVPs, our LVPs, so be sure to stick around for that.
And as always, to our continuing listeners and our brand new ones, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into the episode, y'all. This was crazy.
Everybody was crazy. I don't know. Like, is the episode title supposed to be like lube? And but it's like
Lupercalia.
Yeah, like lubrication, but it's like Lupercalia.
Like Trojan
everyone wants to
Lupercalia.
like fuck this episode. Holy crap!
Everybody was ready to fuck.
Like Zelda
shit
was
up.
on fire. Like she was like sweating over that dick.
I feel like this was like their Valentine's Day episode, basically. Right?
Yeah.
Like everyone was
they
in
called
love.
it that, right? Like which is Valentine's Day, kind of.
Right, and everybody like gets it in, even Wardwell, which is kind of surprising.
So yeah, and so it kind of let's start off with that whole event, Lupercalia. And again, it starts off like a lot of these episodes do, where like Sabrina's like, "What's that? Can you guys tell me what that is? Because I'm a witch and I have no idea. Like, how do you not know what this is? It happens every motherfucking year.
Like study
like,
one
how
time.
How have you never heard this name before, or like experienced it, or like asked about it?
Yeah.
I hate when they do this shit. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense, but we'll run with it. She's like our audience member at this point. So essentially it is, which is Valentine's Day. And Nick is like, everybody kind of goes out and like fucks each other. It's like this whole
I love how Nick was describing it. He's like, it's so lame. It's like everyone has sex. Like, who even wants to do that? Like, it doesn't even feel good. Like, I don't even know if people want to do that. Like, it's so overrated, Sabrina. I'm like, shut up. Like,
and she's like, you had an orgy like a week ago, so like, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But everybody's just like into it, like you said. Even Zelda's into it.
God.
She's like the Lupercalia is like the most like amazing festival, and everybody
the lusty pastoral,
the carnal, everything is just delicious.
The way she was talking was very like like
Miranda Otto has like the voice for it.
City fertility and like she's like orgasming like as she's talking. Like it was too much.
So funny. And it's funny because like on the other side of it, Hilda's like, girl, like if you don't want to have sex, like don't have to do it.
Yeah, they're basically telling Sabrina like get on the D, like have fun, like do your thing. She's like, no, like what if I'm not ready? Like I always thought like I was gonna do it with Harvey, and like now we're not together. And then Zelda's like, aren't you dating that like next guy? Like
first of all, really quickly, I just wanted to discuss this because like I don't know how to bring it up either, but I'm just gonna say it. I already thought that she done like boned Harvey from time. Like
no, I don't know. Like, I don't think so. I didn't think that.
I feel like in the very first episode, like doesn't she like take her shirt off in front of him and like. I never thought that like she was still a virgin. I don't know.
No. I think I feel like
she
she discussed it. I think she mentions it. I definitely knew that she hadn't with Harvey for sure. Because I feel like it came up at some point where she said like they hadn't done it. I was shocked that Roz had done it, to be honest. That's what gagged me the most. When she said it, I was like, what? I was like, you did?
The shade. Yeah. She's like, I done fuck
Anyways,
someone
no, I
on
wasn't
the
shocked.
side. Yeah.
I wasn't shocked.
It was just funny. It was just funny to see like how everybody was like in the moment.
Yeah.
This episode. So there's different aspects of Lupercalia. I think there's first like the choosing of the person that you're gonna be with.
Right.
And then there's like the courting, which is like them having a picnic in the woods. And then there's like the fucking that happens on like the last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first aspect of it is the choosing. And already right off the top, Dorcas is like, don't fucking touch like Nick's crush, like he's mine. And Sabrina's like, no, I'm gonna fuck him. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And so they have this like cool moment where they show them like doing this like little dance. It's like basically musical chairs.
It's musical chairs, yeah.
Yeah. And they have to like sit on like the D of the man who's in front of them, the closest. So so as she's like coming around, she sees Nick, like I think Nick like coughs or something to stop Ambrose from playing the instrument. What was he playing? The violin.
I don't know.
And he's playing the violin, and as soon as he coughed, like he broke his concentration, and then that's when Sabrina went to go like sit on his lap. But then as soon as she goes to sit on his lap, Dorcas is like, fucking move. She
like pushes Sabrina out of the way. Sabrina goes flying across the room basically. And she sits on who we think is Nick. And she's like, nah, she got him. And then like Sabrina like walks over to like a next chair, and like Nick's on that chair.
Right.
And what's his face? Melvin, like Dorcas or Porcus is sitting on Melvin. And she's like, what? She's like, you guys tricked me. So I guess like he was doing glamour or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
To like act as if he was Nick.
Yes.
And I guess Melvin wants Dorcas Porcus. Like he would want her, right?
Right. I mean, he's just happy to be there, I think.
Yeah.
He's just happy to be involved.
Yeah. That's true.
So then that happens. So they're kind of paired up or whatever. And then it cuts to, I guess, the night in the woods. So this is like the courting, which is they take their little baskets of sex and go into an area, but they're like only supposed to like entice each other. Like it's supposed to be like just like a date number one, essentially, where they like have like oysters and like they're just getting their like sexual appetite ready or whatever. Yeah. So
it was so funny. So like Ambrose like blows the horn, right? He's like, get started now. And then everyone like runs away. And then Zelda's like, oh, she's like, they left us an extra basket. He's
like, didn't I'm like, didn't you make the baskets? Like you did that.
She totally did it on purpose.
So she's like, yeah, there's an extra basket. She's like, would you like to, Blackwood? And he's like, okay, let's just sit down and hang out.
So then we cut to the Sabrina and Nick storyline, which I was really intrigued about because I do want to know why he's like infatuated with her. Like I do want to know. Like I get that there's chemistry just because like I feel like he's hot, but I'm not like I still see her and Harvey having a way more like deeper connection.
Yeah.
And so I still want to know like what is it with Nick Scratch?
Why is he so obsessed with her? Yeah.
Right. And vice versa. Like why is she like into him other than the fact that he's hot? So he starts telling her he's really fucking hot. The actor is like, I can't even talk about him. He's like, he reminds me of Charles Melton, but like even hotter.
Yes.
Anyways, so he talks about Sabrina and he's like, like I've never had a type of girl like you. Like you're like half mortal. Like I want to like try that. I'm like, what
I want to try that mortal.
Like he never had like mortal vagina. Like it feels different. Like what is this guy trying to say? And she's like, okay. She's like, yeah. And I was like, this is I don't buy his. Yeah. I don't buy into him. I don't know what it is.
Like there's something about him this episode that really like worried me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it is just like the way that it all kind of plays out by the end of it, and maybe we'll see a better side of him next episode. But definitely he got shady this episode, and I got really worried for her. Yeah.
And like we didn't talk about it, but like in the beginning, he does astral project into her bedroom, and she's like, "Oh my god!" She's like, "What are you doing? Imagine like I was masturbating." And then he's like, "Sorry." He's like, "I just want to say like, don't worry, like no pressure, like we don't have to have sex.
Like I'm not gonna try
pressure,
to fuck
like
you. Yeah.
I'm good." And I was like, "That sounds so extra. Like why are you like astral projecting right now? Like you're so extra."
He's being like he's like being those like pretty boys that like try to do that to the
it's like reverse psychology.
Yeah.
It's like he's like, don't worry, I won't try to fuck you.
But I'm gonna try to fuck you.
Now she's gonna be like, yeah, I want to fuck you now. Anyways, I just don't trust him.
Yeah. So in that moment while they're like kissing, they hear like a wolf, like a werewolf or something. So that's like the big gag of this episode, which we'll get to a little bit later.
Yeah.
But really quickly to cut to another moment, this episode is Blackwood and Zelda. Like they have quite a moment, not even just a moment. They have like the moment outside of them sitting and talking and sharing a like orgy basket together.
Yeah. So we're really kind of breaking it down by like what really happens in the episode. So it does cut back to the school eventually or whatever. And then Blackwood says like he basically wants to make it official. with Zelda. But what does that all entail?
Yeah, he doesn't just want to make it official. He wants to make it like official with a ring on it, like
fully turtle dove ring, like no diamond ring, but a turtle dove ring.
Rings, yeah.
And what he does tell her, he's like, yo, like, you know, like before, like a long time ago, like I spoke to your brother Edward, and like he didn't let me like fuck you, so like I didn't like want to date you because of him.
I didn't date
so now
you,
I'm like asking you basically.
Yeah.
Did you believe that story?
Yeah, I did. I did believe it because I definitely think that like Edward probably saw something bad in him and was like, you're not fucking my sister. Like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
So I definitely believed it. But at the same time, that's when I was like, Zelda, be careful. Like, don't just like jump into his arms, because clearly there's a reason why Edward didn't trust him.
Yeah.
So yeah, she does. He does propose to Zelda, but she's like, "I'm gonna take this back, and I'm gonna get back to you in 24 hours." So
and I was so shocked because like we've really seen Zelda like so thirsty for the D,
thirsty for his D,
So like I was actually pretty gagged that like she said, I'll like think about it and I'll come back to you.
Right.
And then we kind of see fast forward in the episode where she does go back home and she tells Hilda like, oh my God, like he proposed to me.
Right.
And Hilda's like, oh my God, like, I'm so lit. She's like, wedding season is here. And Zelda's like, calm down. She's like, I'm going to do it for like a power play. I'm not doing it because like I love him. It's just like, I want the power of being married to him or whatever. So I think it's just interesting because I'm sure he's like, Blackwood is doing it as a power play as well on his end. And she's doing it as a power play on her end. Well, for sure.
Why would he be doing it for her?
I think he'll probably they'll probably expose his plan soon, but I'm sure he's doing it as something. He's not in love with her.
I think he might be in love with her, and I feel I do.
No, I don't believe it.
I think he's in love with her / like he wants to control her / like he wants her to just like stay at home and take care of the baby.
That's what I mean. I feel like he sees women as that kind of thing, and I don't think he like genuinely like loves her. He's just like, how do I keep her on the low, and how do I control her? And this is kind of the way that he's thinking that he can do that.
Sure. Yeah, I get that. So moving on to another conversation or another plot line is Hilda and her man, Dr. Cerberus, and their shit that goes down in this episode. Yeah. So the major thing that happens is Hilda is kind of like, she asks him out. She's like, can I be your like Valentine? And he like fully rejects her ass, and she's so sad. And Zelda like perks her up because like she's already been proposed to, so she's like, yes. But then Hilda's like sad about it, and Zelda's like, no man, you need to like show him what you got. You gotta like
show up,
put on the moves.
Come on,
you need to like get that dick, like go. So so she like comes out like fucking Snooki and like leopard print with like a hair bump. Like I was like, girl, what century are you from?
Snooki. Like, it was amazing.
But she was feeling herself, so I was like proud of her. I was like, go get it. Like, get it, girl. So she shows up at the bookstore in the middle of the night, and she's like, hey, baby, I'm going to date you. I'm going to kiss you. And he's like,
don't get close to me.
Yeah.
He's like, my boner is too big right now. And then she's like, what? She's like, what's going on? He's like, no, seriously. Like, you get me too excited. He's like, don't come close to me. Like,
he's like, I literally have boner issues right now. Like,
he's like, I'm a monster boner. So, and then he kind of tells her like what the deal is and how he's like, one day, like I was looking through these books and like I came across this spell, and like I guess this monster like jumped out of the book and like went into my dick, and like no, like it just like took over his body, and like it's basically like a wolf. And he's like, you get me excited, and like whenever it's excited, it like it's basically the fucking metaphor.
He's like, I can't do this.
He's like, it only happens when I'm excited, and like you make me excited, so like you can't come near me. This episode was so fucking ridiculous.
So I guess it turns out that like Zelda's experienced sex demons before, so she's like,
wait, was it a sex demon?
Sister. Yeah, it's literally a sex demon.
Shut up. I thought it was like a werewolf.
But that's what I thought too, because that's why I thought like there was a werewolf in the beginning. I was like, oh shit, Dr. Cerberus is the werewolf, but it's not.
It's not. He's just like a sex freak.
But I think he does get like hairy and like his like hormones like go off the charts or something.
God.
Like, testosterone is like out the window.
Oh my God.
His like dick is like, boom. I'm like, girl, be careful. Like, just get ready for whatever's
scary.
coming your way. Like, I'm praying for you, girl. But yeah, Zelda basically gives her some advice and says, you know, you just need like some chains and like make sure that he's tied down and everything will be fine. And Hilda's like, cool. She's like, great. I'm just getting myself into like some sexual adventures in my 40s. Great. That's awesome. So that's her
does
major
Cerberus
storyline.
know that she's a witch at this point?
I don't think that he tells her this up, but she does. Like, I don't think she says it.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I don't know if you like care about like the weird stuff, like the science fiction stuff. But she's like, you'd be surprised. But I don't think she actually says it to him this episode, which I feel like is probably gonna come out because she's probably gonna be like, I'm a witch and I can help you, like I can take care of you or something.
Yeah.
Like, and that will continue the relationship. But like, I don't think they talk about this episode.
Yeah.
The next big thing to talk about is Wardwell has a fiance.
What?
Question mark?
She got that ring. So this
she's
guy
like minding
met
her
him.
business.
Like, she's like at school. She's like the principal, whatever. She's like, I'm crying.
She's like, I fucking hate Valentine's Day. She's like over it.
And I think for a second, like, I legit forgot this woman like took over someone else's body. Because some man shows up and he's like, bitch, I'm your fiance, basically. Like, my name is Adam or whatever. She finds out after that because like she has to pretend like that she knows him. He's like, hey, boo.
Right.
And then after she's like, who is this guy? And the woman's like, that's your fiance? Like, that's his name is Adam.
Your
like,
fiance.
what the F?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I just had to note down here that it's so ironic that she is Lilith, right? Like in the whole kind of story of it, she's Lilith and his name is Adam. Like, how funny is that?
Yep. Yeah. And the fact that he's not this like typical Adam that you would expect from like the first man, you know what I mean? Like, he's like dorky, but he's very doting on her. Like, it's interesting to see the dynamic that they have because she's obviously like very aggressive.
He's the good guy, right? Like, he's the good guy, and the devil is like Justin Bobby. Like, that's just the dynamic of this relationship.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
you know,
good comparison.
He's the bad boy. So
yeah, he's the bad boy, and Adam is like the goody two shoes.
Yeah. So he does tell her, he's like, I've been away from time, like on business, but he's like, I'm back now to stay. So this whole thing with her and this guy, like with Adam, is gonna probably be a big part of her story this season, and I think it's probably gonna distract her from like her main mission because like she's gonna have to deal with this guy's like, you know, doting
and maybe like
humanize.
Maybe even humanize her a little bit because I think the one thing that she could do is like literally, I think she does try to kill him at one point. She like is about to stab him in the neck, and then she gets she kind of like gets distracted, and then she doesn't do it, and then by the end of the episode, he's literally like rubbing her feet down.
Yeah, she's like, oh yeah, I like this.
So it's almost like there is a part of her that is going to enjoy this experience with him, and maybe he'll rub off on her a little bit, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm excited to see like what happens there. He gives her like this weird, creepy, ooky, spooky doll at one point. Did you remember that?
Yeah. What was that?
Like, I don't know, but like I was like, they put a lot of focus on it, and I was like, okay, like should I know what that is? He called it
a fetish doll.
Yeah, like I don't know. Maybe it's like some like romance thing. I don't know.
It's like some sex thing. It's probably some sex thing because this whole episode is like sex crazy.
Yeah, it's like it like turns into a dildo or something. So
do you think Adam is like evil?
That's a good question. I feel like he could potentially have the ability to be someone who could like break her down, and maybe that's why she can't kill him. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like he definitely has like a bigger part to play. She wouldn't have kept him alive if that wasn't the case. Like he would have died in one episode if he didn't have like a meaning. So it'll be interesting to see where this all goes.
Yeah.
Let's cut to the sweetheart dance. So this is like the Valentine's Day dance at Baxter High, and the big things, a few things happen, but the major thing that happens is Harvey asks Roz to the dance.
Can I also just say here, because that was a really cute moment, can I also just say here how cute it would have been if like somehow from Riverdale, you know, like Archie got like a date and like he went to the sweetheart dance in Green. Like it would have been so cool if they had mixed the two shows in this kind of setting where like it wasn't as mystical or like magical. It was just a fucking straight up dance. We live towns apart. It makes sense. Or like Reggie or someone like random could just be at the dance.
True.
Like,
yeah.
They couldn't
100%.
even do that.
They definitely could have done that for sure.
Yeah. Anyways,
but they didn't. So he asked Roz out, and she's like, yes. But in the back of her mind, as you remember, she's been having this moment, like convulsing inside of her cunning, where she's like, he's gonna kiss me, like it's gonna happen. So the entire time she's kind of going with it, but at the same time, in the back of her mind, realizing that, you know, he doesn't know, for one, he doesn't know that she has this power, but also like that eventually they're gonna make out, and she's like excited about that too.
Yeah, for sure.
The one thing that I loved about this too, the fact that Roz is asked by Harvey, is Roz goes and like asks Sabrina for her blessing, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it all. I feel like they're all way too effing like chill about this. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, why are you guys so chill about this? She just took your man. Like,
yeah,
fine, he's not your man anymore. Totally, you guys are not together. I totally understand that, but like, also, this is weird. Like, this is really weird.
I think it's weird. I personally think it's a little much to have, you know, like your best friend and your ex-boyfriend basically going out and like hanging out. Like, I know it happens, I know it's a thing that happens or whatever, and we should be more progressive, but
it can happen. That's totally fine, but I feel like it's missing a reaction from someone. Like Sabrina's reaction is not there, and it's really weird.
And realistically, like, are we really supposed to believe that Sabrina's completely and 100% over Harvey at this point?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, really? And she's just gonna move to some next dick? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, because the way like Sabrina said it, she's like, I moved on. Like, I'm dating another guy, and I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter though. Yeah. But like, you would still feel some type of way if your best friend was going to the dance with your ex-boyfriend from like 2 weeks ago. So yeah, it's a big deal.
Speaking of, Harvey and Sabrina have a conversation because later on, I think Sabrina decides that she wants to go to the dance with Nick.
Yeah, and then I'm like, girl, why are you even going to the dance? Like, you're so extra. You don't belong there.
Just stay at your fucking witchy ass school and have sex with your boyfriend.
It was just so extra. It felt so forced. Like they had to force these two storylines together.
It's exactly how she's been feeling her entire life. She's half mortal. She's half witch. We're getting half, you know, a storyline on one side and the other half on the other side. It's just a little random for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wasn't mad that they brought them together at the end of it all because it kind of like let them have.
It was
the
such
same
a cute
experience.
scene. Like the dancing scene was like so cute when they were all dancing together.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. I just feel like a lot of things are really forced in this show, and they don't really make sense.
So Harvey says that he's totally fine with it, and I was like, okay, I don't know if I believe that, but sure. Sabrina was like, cool, thanks. And
let's talk about Susie.
Let's talk about Susie. Well, let's talk about Theo, because I think we're gonna move and try to say Theo from now on. We're trying, guys. We're trying really hard. It's not easy, but so Theo is at home, and his dad walks in and says, hey, like, let's go get a dress for this dance. I'm really excited for you to wear a dress. And Theo says to him, I don't want to wear a dress anymore. I would feel more comfortable in a suit. And that was how he says to his dad that he prefers to be a boy and he wants to be called Theo. So it's a lot of information for this dad to take in. The dad was really like, he was so shocked that he had to sit down. But, you know, like, I guess they just have to progress her story as fast as they can, because I'm hoping that they're blasting through all these major moments.
But here's the thing.
She has a bigger purpose. I don't know.
For sure she's gonna have a bigger purpose, but here's the thing. Why are you blasting through all of these big moments? Like, if she's transitioning for real, like, she would have to go through all of these huge conversations. And like I think the fact that she just has like, it would have been so cool to see her with two parents, like a mom and a dad, to be like, how would each of these parents react to this information, like to this news about their daughter? Like,
Right.
I just feel like they're trying to tell her story, but they're cutting everything in half. And I get that this is a TV show with other characters, I understand that, but you gotta do this justice. And like right now they are not doing a good job with it. They butchered the fucking sports story. They butchered it in half. That was terrible. Yeah. And then, yeah, and I just feel like her talking to her dad, it was really cute. Like, the dad was super cute, but, like, where was... I wish they had the mom character in there, too, you know?
Yeah, and I'm not out here asking for, like, a dad to be like, get out of my house. Like, I'm never going to call you that. Like, I'm not expecting this whole storyline where it, like, goes completely south.
For sure.
But at the same time, I would like a little bit of respect to the other characters that have to kind of take this information in, because I think they really blasted through, you know, her best friends coming to terms with the fact that, you know, he's going to be called Theo now. And now her dad is someone who he's known his entire life, and now it's just like, okay, you're now gonna be called Theo, and now you're a boy, and like, let's go get a haircut. And it's just a lot. It's really a lot for somebody to take in, and I understand that they just want to normalize it for people who are going to be going through for the next generation, which I think is amazing, and I think that's really cool. But I kind of expected a little bit more bit more conflict, like just like a touch, like 1% more conflict that made sense and felt real. I just don't feel like any of this feels real, and it's such a real story to tell that I'm surprised that they took it this way.
Yeah,
I don't know, that's how I feel. Then it goes to the dance, and Harvey and Roz like go out and they have a great time, and Roz is looking stunning, and Harvey's like so excited to see her. He's like, I want to make out with you or whatever. And Nick sees Sabrina, and they go out and they go dancing and everything's all cute. So also with the dance, what happens is Theo has a big moment with Billy at the like watering bowl, the like at the like the drinks table, and he basically says to Theo, I like your haircut, and Theo's like, go fuck yourself. and
he's like, no, for real, I really like your haircut. She's like, why are you so nice to me now?
So then he's like, yeah, I'm sorry, like I broke my fucking leg and I like made me realize my life, and I'm sorry. So that was kind of cute.
Yeah, it was cute. It was like a little force on Billy's part, but I wonder where they're gonna go with that, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what that all means. Like, does that mean they're gonna become best friends? Like, who knows? Then the next big, and I guess the major thing that happens this episode during the dance is Roz and Harvey, like they quiche times. But also on top of that, she does tell him that she has the cunning, and she cuns all the time.
Yeah, she was like, I cun all the time. So like, I don't know how you're gonna deal with that. And he was like, cool.
Well, it was kind of a cool conversation, because she's like, I know that you're not about the magic or whatever, and he's like, it's not that I wasn't about the magic. I wasn't okay with the lying that she was doing to me. True. And
he always like, makes some really good points. I really like his character. He's like, I just want the truth, and that's it.
For sure. So I really like that part of it too.
Yeah.
I think at one point in time, Sabrina and Nick go to like the library. Is that right?
Yeah, they're dancing, and it was such a cute scene. And then she's like, I want to go somewhere private to touch your dick. So then like they leave. He's like, cool. So then they go to the library. They're like making out in the library, like super cute. While
that whole thing is happening, they hear like a growl in the corner, like they see something, and then it's like a wolf. And then they like run out just in time, and Nick already knows who it is. Like, he puts a spell on the door. He knows exactly who it is, and he's like, that's Amalia. She is my familiar. And Sabrina's like, bitch, what? And so he explains his whole story and says how, you know, way back when he lost his family, when he lost his parents, Amalia was the only family that he had left, and she became like hyper sensitive and very like jealous of him and all of the relationships that he had. So he ended up kind of like letting her go. Like he was like, you need to stay away from me because I think she started to attack all of his girlfriends. Is that right?
Yeah, she's basically like a jealous bitch.
Yeah, essentially. So then he's like, I need to get rid of her now. Like she's come back and I'm not sure why. And you know, Sabrina's obviously like, because I'm like obviously around, and like she probably like can tell because like the Lupercalia is probably happening. He wants to like fuck her in the middle of the woods. So yeah, I don't know.
And then Wardwell like kind of intervenes. She's like, what the F's going on here? Whatever. And then she basically tells Nick, like, you got to put that bitch down. Like, you got to like kill her because like she's going to be jealous of you forever, whatever. Forever, so then it kind of like his storyline kind of like goes on with there, and he goes to the woods to find Amalia with Sabrina. And I just found it weird that she took him into the woods, and then he was like, okay, like I need to do this alone. Like, see you in a minute when I kill her.
Yeah.
I just find that really weird. And she's like, okay, like good luck, whatever. She like does like some cute like little protection spell on him, and then like he dips. He comes back and he's like all bloody, and like he's holding this like crazy like wolf's heart basically in his hand. Yeah. And he's like all sad and shit. He's like, I did it, like I killed her, whatever. Yeah. And she's like, oh my God, poor baby, like let's go have sex right now, whatever. And I just found it weird. I was just like, this is so dramatic. Like, why is he coming out with a wolf's heart? Like, why does he have to show like, her the heart?
Yeah. Yeah. It was very like Snow White and like the Huntsman kind of situation where like the huntsman comes out with like a fake heart and it's not really Snow White's heart.
Yeah, it's just very dramatic. Anyway, so then it cuts to like the whole night, kind of the conclusion of all of this Lupercalia, like
the night
whole
of
thing, and like they're like being cute, whatever. And he even tells her, like, this was the funny part, when he takes out the wolf's heart and he's like, oh my God, I did it, whatever. He's like, Sabrina, promise me tonight is gonna be about you and me only. Like, I want to be alone with you because I'm so emotionally damaged right now. Like, I need you. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, why is he prefacing their night with this? Like, what is he trying to make her feel like, you know?
Right.
I don't trust this guy. Anyways.
For sure.
So yeah. So fast forward to like the night of whatever, they're in the forest, right?
Yep.
And how does this happen? Like, does she step away from Nick?
So for everybody like kind of like goes off on their own, and I think what happens is Dorcas like pounces on Nick while they're all running away, and Sabrina can't find him in the spot that he said that he was going to find her. And then while she's waiting by the tree, like the special area, she encounters Amalia for the first time.
And Amalia comes up to her and she's all like, she can't talk obviously, but she's like, hey boo. She wasn't really violent towards Sabrina. She was a little scary, but like she didn't do anything to Sabrina. She like kind of touches her face, but like in a very like motherly, like be careful kind of way. That's how I took it.
Yeah, I kind of took it as like trying to explain to her like like how she might be in danger, or like she's trying to understand her. It's almost like the way that so basically the way that it all plays out is as soon as Nick gets there, she yells at him, or not yells at him, she attacks him and almost basically kills him, and then Sabrina is forced to kill Amalia.
Yeah. Well, that's the interesting part. Amalia goes from like really being cute to Sabrina, and then Nick steps in and he's like, don't touch her, like I love her, whatever. Right. And then Amalia like glitches out and she attacks Nick. And so it really felt like she was trying to tell Sabrina something, and then Nick got involved, and then Amalia lost her shit. And then maybe like Sabrina had to kill Amalia because like she was about to kill Nick, and like Sabrina's like, what the F's going on? So she stabs her to death, and it was like pretty like crazy to watch.
Pretty crazy.
And yeah, so she kills Amalia, and Sabrina's like, why the F did you lie to me? Like, whose heart was that? Like, what's wrong with you? Yeah. And he's like, yeah, like I did lie to you. Like I took another like wolf's heart, and like,
but like she's my family.
But then she's my family. And he starts like bawling, and I was like, what the fuck? Like
over here, yeah.
What a little bitch. I mean, guys are fine. Guys should cry. It's totally fine. I'm not gonna say that. It was just the way it all went down. Like I just don't trust him.
No, 100%. And the way that it all ends, like to your point, the fact that she fully attacks Nick without even thinking twice, I'm like, maybe he was after her the entire time. Like, I don't know. And like, so the final scene that we see is her like kind of like embracing him. And then like she looks kind of confused. Like she's not really sure how to feel about the whole situation.
She's not turned on by it at all. She's definitely like turned off. Like she's not in the mood
she's
anymore.
like, we're not having sex tonight.
She's also like, she also feels very bad for him. Like you could tell, like she's like, oh, like he showed emotion.
Right. And that's the part of me that's like, okay, maybe they're just not they didn't play it right. They didn't direct it properly. That like maybe he is like a genuine person and he's just like damaged and he's sad that he has no family left. But I really like it. It was really hard for me to trust him this entire episode. And I don't know if I
want to hear.
We'll see.
I want to hear what our fans have to say about it because I feel like we're going to be very like, it's going to be two-sided. Like people are going to love him and then people are going to be like, no, that guy's shady. I
mean, I'm sure people who have already watched the entire series are going to be like, he's amazing. Like,
Don't spoil it for us. I want to be surprised.
Don't spoil it for us. Let us know what you thought in this moment on this episode.
Yeah.
And that's the episode, guys. Okay, let's get into our recap roundups.
Recap roundups.
Best moment. I'm gonna have to say my best moment was everyone dancing at the dance. I think it was super cute and like happy.
My best moment, we didn't talk about it in the entire recap, but there's a part in the episode where Harvey teaches Theo how to tie a tie. And I thought that was really cute. I was like, "Aw, y'all are cute."
Yeah.
I was really like happy. I was proud of Harvey for like coming forward and like being this like, you know, he's the perfect character to kind of help Theo through the transition.
WTF moment.
What was your WTF moment?
My WTF moment, I think, has to go to Nick lying about killing Amalia.
Yeah.
It was such a random lie for him to tell. Like, just tell Sabrina, like, I can't kill her. Like, she means so much to me. Bitch. And, like, I don't want to kill her. Like, just say that. The fact that he lied about it, I think it just shows that he's really shady about, like, other things, too.
Yeah, 100%. My WTF moment is how the fact that Wardwell has a boyfriend / fiance. I think I was just very shocked by it. And I was like, what the fuck is this storyline? But then I'm totally into it. I'm really interested to see what happens with it later on.
MVP.
Who's your MVP?
My MVP is gonna go to Hilda. I don't think she slept with him, right? They didn't like actually do it.
Yeah.
Right?
But yeah, they didn't.
But I think she wanted to help out her man. I think she like slayed that Snooki outfit, like you were saying. And now she has a boyfriend. So like she's living her best life right now, and I'm proud of her.
Yeah, for sure. She's like going for that demon D. My MVP is going to be Amalia for not wanting to let go of that sweet Nicky Dicky. Like, it felt like she was like obsessed with him. So that's why she was like so hungry for him. But yeah, she's my MVP for being like obsessed with Nick because we're all obsessed with Nick.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Like high key, she like came out of the woods to like go after him again.
LVP.
Who's your LVP?
My LVP, I'm gonna have to give it to Prudence and Ambrose together. I just felt like they are probably the two most sexual characters in the entire series, and I feel like they kind of were played down a little bit in this episode. They were kind of like the side characters, which they always are, but I just want them to shine more. I think they're amazing actors.
Yeah.
And together they're more fun to watch. It's just like, I just hope that they don't just have scenes where they're just fucking. Like, there has to be more to them than this, you know?
I think we'll see more of them together, and I just can't wait for Lucas to get out of the picture so they can be together like a fish.
Yeah.
Mine is gonna be Ambrose, surprisingly enough, as well. Actually, is that a surprise? Not really.
Yeah.
I was like, no. I literally feel like all he did was like blow horns into the sky and have sex with Prudence one time. I was like, come on, guys. Like, you can really write this character a little bit better. I'm like really crossing my fingers that they're gonna bring him up by the end of the season. So we'll see.
Yeah. The best line. My best line was from Zelda when she was basically not rejecting the Blackwood's like proposal, but she was like, the Dark Lord notwithstanding, I should consider your proposal and get back to you. I was like, oh my god, like what a boss ass move to like basically take it and be like, I'll see you later with like decision. Like, that's so sick.
Actually, I do love when Wardwell says you need to put that bitch down.
That was pretty good too.
That was pretty boss ass. But it also makes me wonder like what Wardwell's like, what's her motivation? I feel like sometimes it's like full out neutral, and then sometimes like it has a purpose. So sometimes I'm like, what are you saying that for? Is it because you want to kill Amalia because Nick is sketchy, or are you like?
And like it was so drastic for her to say that. Like, why are you trying to like kill someone right now?
She's like, fucking kill it.
Yeah, like there was definitely something there. I don't know.
Anyway, that is the end of the episode, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know what you guys thought about the episode as well. I like to take the time to thank our patrons of the episode, our lit rewinders, Kate, Tina Ann, Sarge, and Serena, and our mommy rewinders, Becca, Sarah, Tamala, and Taya.
And if you would like to join our Patreon family, check us out at patreon.com/recap_rewind. If you join, you'll get access to all things Recap Rewind, exclusive contests, content, and updates.
And also make sure you guys are checking us out on all of our socials: Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, and Facebook. Make sure you guys are connecting to stay in the conversation with us. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, as we said. And that's it. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.